Well, hey y'all, Lizzie here. Good morning. I wanted to talk to y'all about how I do my neck jointing. I've had a lot of questions about this, and I just thought, well, I'll just make a video. Okay, so let's go over a list of supplies. Okay, so you're gonna need your fabric scissors. Um, You're going to need your thread scissors. Now, these are thread scissors, but I call them my little baby scissors. I use them for just about everything. Okay, you will need upholstery thread. I used to use just the regular thread and also the what is that, hand embroidery thread, and it pops. I mean, you can double that thread and it's gonna pop, okay, because you do have to do some tugging on this. But with the upholstery thread, you only need one strand, and it works just fine. Okay, anyway, so you will need some straight pins. You will need a marker, and you can use any kind of marker that you want to, because what we're going to do, you will not be able to see. Okay. You will need a spare piece of fabric, the same as your skin tone, because you will, you really, I don't guess you can really see it unless someone actually really looks, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway, you will need a piece of fleece, and I use this as stabilizer basically. So anyway, you will need your neck joints, okay? And when you buy them, they're gonna come in 3 to a pack. Like, well, usually it's 2 to a pack, and you get 3 pieces. You get your post, I guess that's what you call this. You get a washer, and then you get your connecting piece, okay? Don't ever make the mistake of putting that on like that, okay, without doing it first. Okay, this is the thing, okay? This washer is useless. I never use it. I just chunk it, throw it away, whatever you want to do, I don't care. Save it, use it for other things. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and then, of course, your doll that is ready to be jointed, okay? I do all my sculpting and all that before I do my jointing, okay? Now, let's see, let's do this first. Okay, I use my neck joints for just about everything, okay? So, let me adjust this camera right quick so that you can see what I'm fixing to do. Okay, so give me just a second and bear with me. Well, crud. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so what you're gonna do is, okay, you might want to put this back up here so that way y'all can see what I'm fixing to do. I don't know if that's gonna hold or not. It might. Anyway, all right, so I take, whoops, okay, I can fix that, no big thing. All right, now you're just gonna draw right here. And it doesn't really have to be neat. It's no big thing. Then you're going to lay this on top of here, okay? And I use my sculpting needle, and if you can't tell, it's all kind of whopper-jawed, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway, all right, so I usually do this under the, like by my sewing machine, because I take the foot of my sewing machine and I lower the lever to hold this tight. That way when I'm doing this right here, it's not so, you know, loose and, you know, wanting to go every which way. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, let's see here. Okay. All right, so once that's done, you don't have to take really tiny. I take the first stitch is like really, really tiny. And then, you know, the rest of them is just, they don't have to be tiny. They're, you know, it is what it is. But, because all this right here, you're not going to be able to see anyway. So it doesn't matter how big or how small your stitches are. So anyway, but I mean, this is kind of time consuming, but I just think when I first started making babies and using joints, and back then I used joints on every part of the body. We're talking the neck, the arms, and the legs. And now I just use the neck joint. Okay, anyway. All right, so the last stitch that you take, you're going to take as close to that knot as you can, if you can see, okay? Now, you're going to move your thread aside because you don't want to cut into your thread, and just kind of cut around your stitches, on the outside of your stitches. Okay, give me just a second. Okay, you're going to cut around, and let me see, hold up. Give me just a second. Okay, here we go. All right. Now, once they're around like that, what you're going to do is, the fabric that I use is very, very thin. It's kind of like a jersey knit, kind of, except it's got a shiny sheer, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Anyway, you're going to fold this in half, okay, with your outside fabric to the inside, and then you're going to fold it again till you get this little cute triangle, okay? Then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to snip right here in the corner, okay? You're going to snip it so that way, see, you're going to have a little hole right here. And then you will take your baby scissors and just kind of open that hole up a little. You don't need to open it up by much, because sometimes you have to, after you attach this, you have to go back and redo it. Anyway, I'm not going to show you both pieces. You know, I'm not going to do both of these, but I am going to, you do both of them the same way, okay? So anyway, if you was doing the post, you would just basically slip the post in it, okay? And since I'm not doing the post, I'm going to do the bottom piece. Okay, now, you see how this has ridges on it like this right here? This goes down, okay? And you take your fleeced fabric, and then you make sure that that hole is right there in the center. And then when you do, you're going to pull it tight, okay? All right, and you see how tight I'm pulling that, and it's not breaking, and it's not going to, well, I hope it doesn't anyway, but I've never had an issue, and I've been using this kind of thread for, oh Lord, I don't know, probably years. Anyway, all right, you're going to take a securing stitch, okay, that way it's going to hold your thread pretty tight. And then you're just going to tie this off, okay? All right, let's see here. Okay. All right, now, once you tie that off, you're going to snip it, okay? Leave enough tail so that when you get ready to put this on your doll, that you can just kind of tuck it under. Okay. Anyway, now, so I have my doll all ready to go. Okay. You make sure you close your opening where you stuck it at. Okay. Then you see these strings, you just kind of put them to the inside. If you cut them too short, sometimes you can't tuck them. Okay, and then you kind of put that like right in the center. All right, and then with your straight pins, you're going to, oh, sorry. I am so used to sticking stuff in my mouth when I'm working. And I can't do that right now. Anyway, all right, so you're just going to, secure it on top. All right. All right, there we go. So you got it secured. All right, then you're going to start attaching this. Okay, now once you attach this, let me show you something. Hold up. Once you attach this, you're going to have this, and it's going to be flush. Okay, so that's what you're aiming for, is it for it to be flush. Now, I know I was telling you earlier when I first started doing this, well, I'll tell you that in just a minute, but hold on. Anyway, and I normally do take some glue and just go around this right here, just to make sure, because my fabric that I use, like I said, is kind of this jersey knit, so it has a tendency to run. But if you're using, just say, what do you call that stuff? Craft floor or fleece or anything like that, you don't have to use that. And if you're using that kind of fabric, you don't have to use the layer of fleece that I use, okay? Anyway, you go into the center of this hole and you just come out, as close to the edge as you can, okay? And all this is going to do is just hide your knot. Okay. Let's see how I can do this. Okay, anyway, and you're just going to take a little stitch. Okay. All right, now, once you got your stitch in there, let me move this over here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take that one out. All right, so once your stitch is in there, you're going to take a second stitch, and all this is a securing stitch. Okay. All right, and then once that's in there, then you can just start working. All right, so you're going to take a stitch to the side. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing on your joint. Okay, and you don't have to worry about these seams, because the next step you'll see why. All right, when I was going to tell you earlier, but when I first started doing this, I used the joints on every single, part of the doll, and I didn't come up with this technique at that time, and so I was just doing a gather and sticking the joint underneath the gather, and it just, to me, it wasn't very secure. So I just started doing this technique, and it works for me. So, but y'all can do however y'all want to, but, I want to make sure that my babies are, very secure, and I'm not going to have their mommies contact me later saying, oh, well, the head fell off, or, so I just make sure that everything is done, the way that if I bought something, that it would be, done. So, or at least I hope, people would do that. Anyway, so hold up, my thread came off. Give me just a second. But anyway, so, this is just basically to secure this joint. So, anyway, yeah. All right, let's see. We're almost to the end. All right. I'm hoping that y'all can see what I'm doing. It's just that I'm not used to doing this in front of a, camera. So, anyway. Let's see here. Ouch. And you're going to get that a lot. You're going to stab yourself. Last time I did it, I really stabbed myself pretty good. And when I did, I had blood all over me. Thank God I didn't have any on my baby. So that was a good thing. Anyway. Okay, so, in this last stitch, you're just going to knot it off. Okay. And you're going to pull it kind of tight. Because you want this, when you put this on, you want this to stay. You don't want it coming off at all. Okay, and just go through your fabric and come out anywhere. And you're just going to snip it off. Okay. Now we're going to do a second layer. All right. And on this one, when you do it, just pull up a little tiny piece of stitch, a little stitch, okay, and you're going to tie it. Whoops. Well, crud. I know, I say that quite a bit, but I cannot help it. Anyway, okay, so like I said, it's hard doing this with a camera right here. Not used to it. Anyway, all right, so you just kind of hold that down, and you can actually take a stick pin to hold it down if you need to, but I'm going to do that because I don't like them. They tend to come up, and you can just poke that stick pin right inside your knot sometimes. There it goes. And just don't pull it real tight, because if you pull it real tight, you're going to have to unloosen it. All right, so anyway, now, once you got your knot in there, what you're going to do is you're not straight up. Okay, you see how that's straight up? You're not going to go straight up. You're going to go to the back a little bit, and over here, you're going to like an 1/8 of an inch to the edge, and then you're going to go at an angle. Okay, see how I'm doing that? Okay, and then you're going to pull it tight. Then you're going to take a little tiny stitch. Okay, hold on just a second. Okay, you're going to take a little tiny stitch. Well, it's not tiny. I guess it's probably about 1/8 of an inch. And then you're going to go behind the stitch, like we did before, at an angle, and go off to the edge. Okay, you're going to pull tight. Okay, and we're going to keep doing this all the way around. Okay, this is the part that's actually time consuming, but I just think that, it's better than the head falling off or being, wobbly and not secure. So, anyway, I probably should have, redone this, and I'm not that video tech, anyway. But it is what it is, I suppose. Okay, anyway, so now when you get to your seams, okay, no matter where your seams are, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to go under those seams, and that's what's going to really hold this in place, okay? I just, in my opinion, it does, okay? Anyway, you're just going to keep working your way around. And as you can see, it's already starting to pull it up to where it's flat. Okay. Anyway, I've been doing this for many, many years. And, well, let me see, what, 11, 12 years? Something like that. I've been doing this. And, you know, everybody has their own way of doing things. And I know that I do. And just certain things, especially this right here, it's, you know, I'm very peculiar about. And I want to make sure that when, you know, someone adopts a baby from me, that they're getting their money's worth. And, you know, and I don't, never do I, you know, skip steps or, you know, do something because it's cheaper. You know, I love doing this. This is my passion. And I'll do this probably until the day I die. And until the day I die, I'm going to make sure, you know, people has quality, not quantity. But anyway, okay, so you're going to keep working your way around. And this part is really time consuming. But, you know, you'll see at the end, you're going to really enjoy this. So now if you're using fleece or some people, I think they would use felt also, because they do felting and what have you, and also craft velour. This hole right here, you would have to puncture a hole into the into that, so that way the post will go in there. Otherwise, you're going to have a post that refuses to go. Believe me, I know. The hard way. So either that, or you're going to have to leave it really, you know, when you put this on, you're going to have to leave it really loose. Okay. And see how it's kind of getting that flush look. Okay. And I see that I'm going to have to open my hole a little bit. Okay. Now, once you get to the end, all right, you're going to go ahead and go all the way past your knot. Okay, you see that? You're going to go past your knot. You're going to flip it over, and you're going to basically do a back stitch. And all this is a securing stitch. That's it. And it makes sure that your stitch stays in place. Okay. So you're going to tie it off, and then after that, we're going to hide our thread. Okay, give me just a second. I cannot stand this chair that I'm sitting in. It's the one that I keep over here at my cutting table. My cutting table used to be our kitchen table when my kids was little, and it just had its day, you know, and it started falling apart. Well, I didn't want to get rid of it, and we just kept tugging it along until finally I thought, you know what, that would be awesome as a cutting table, and it is. Anyway, okay, so once you snip it, then see it's nice and flush. And hold up and I'll show you what we can do with that hole. Okay, sorry about that, guys, but I forgot my my glue. Okay, I do use the E600, and yeah, it works for me. Anyway, okay, so on this, what you're going to do is you're just going to snip all the way around this hole, just to make sure that your post goes in like it should. Okay, you shouldn't really have to snip your fleece though, because your fleece is it's kind of a sturdy fabric. So anyway, and you're going to put some glue on the tip of your finger. Okay, and you might have to add a little bit more. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Anyway, and what you're going to do is just going to go right around this hole. Not bad. Okay. Now, once you do that, you're good to go. Okay. And it doesn't take it very long to dry because you're basically kind of smushing this in. So, anyway, I mostly let it dry before I add the head, but we're going to go ahead and add the head because I think this is dry anyway. Because like I said, I kind of smear that in as well as I can. And so if I don't know if you can see the shine on it. The shine is going to stay there no matter what, because if you look at this, you see this has got that shine on it. And I put this on, a week ago I did this post. So, and I sewed this on late last night. So anyway, yeah. Okay, and then once you do that, you can, let me make sure, I want to put that on and it's not wet, not dry. Then once you do that, let me see, I can do it where y'all can see. Okay, you're going to press right here on the inside of your joint and you're going to hear it click in. And then you got it, see? And it's, there you go. See, there we go. And then you got a neck joint. So anyway, okay. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all have any questions, just let me know. And if you have any suggestions for any other videos, let me know and I'll see what I can do. All right, guys. Y'all have a good day and God bless.